Foreign Affairs Minister hits back at land-grabbing allegations. Police told to remain calm following death of late Constable Kalimda. Governor Pakop to assist affected residents of Muratawan. Good evening, this is National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. Mosby South MP and Minister for Foreign Affairs Justin Tachenko has addressed land-grabbing allegations made against him by Robert Agen. A call was also made by former Aitapel-Lumi MP Patrick Pruach for him to resign as Foreign Minister.
Located in the Central Province just outside of Port Moresby is Adventure Park at 14 Mile. It is this land and the land associated with it that has embroiled Justin Tachenko, the Foreign Affairs Minister, in land-grabbing allegations. The Foreign Affairs Minister held a press conference today, and this is what he had to say on the matter.
Absolutely false. It is totally irresponsible and defaming, and it never happened. It never happened. That's why I went to the cybercrime unit of the police to make Robert Agen accountable for his actions of defaming me on false information and putting it out in Facebook to tell everybody that I was this sort of person.
Minister Tachenko stated that he was the one that initiated the defamation case against railway engineer Robert Agen, and the matter was before the courts for nearly 2 years until the magistrate ruled last week that there was evidence of land transfer, which came as a surprise to the Moresby South MP and Minister for Foreign Affairs.
And I was very surprised to see that the magistrate had ruled that the land was supposedly transferred to me and my family. So let's ask the big questions here. Where is the transfer document that states that this land has been transferred to me and my family? Where is the title that states that this land is under me and my family? Well, guess what? There's no such documents.
Former Aitapel-Lumi MP Patrick Pruach, who was ousted in the national general election 2022, also weighed in on the matter by calling on Minister Tachenko to resign as Foreign Minister based on the land-grabbing allegations. This was Mr. Tachenko's reply.
And for him to come out and tell me to resign, who is he? What basis does he have for me to resign when the actual evidence that this so-called accuser Rob Agen has put forward is baseless? You know, people have to be very careful before they open their big mouths and find out the facts first. Find out the facts first. You know, this is where you get yourself into trouble.
The Foreign Affairs Minister maintains that the allegations of land grabbing are false, and he will pursue the case against Mr. Agen for defamation. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
The family of senior constable late Nelson Kalimda has confirmed that the body recovered yesterday along Endapali River in Magarima Hela province was of their father. Family members have gathered at the family residence since yesterday afternoon. The official house cry program is scheduled to begin this evening, with the police commissioner and the police hierarchy expected to visit the family again later this evening.
It was indeed a sad day for the Kalimda family and the whole police force fraternity and their families. EMTV visited the family home of late Senior Constable Nelson Kalimda at the Red Sea Police Barracks this morning. Mixed emotions of sorrow and anger could be sensed throughout the barracks. Speaking off camera, an emotional and overwhelmed Hilda Kalimda, the wife of late Senior Constable Nelson Kalimda, said she wants to go to Tari and escort her husband's body home to her children. She still cannot take in the fact that her husband is gone in a way she did not imagine. Meanwhile, Police Commissioner David Manning has given directives to investigating officers to continue with further investigations. So far, 2 arrests have been made. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
Police Commissioner David Manning has called for calm amongst police personnel and their families following confirmation that the corpse found yesterday afternoon in Magarima was of late Senior Constable Nelson Kalimda. Commissioner Manning said, and I quote, "Our disciplined forces, especially police personnel, need to show restraint and calm as we deal with the death of Senior Constable Nelson Kalimda." Commissioner Manning shared these sentiments during a media conference yesterday night at the police headquarters.
The police hierarchy has issued a directive for all uniformed personnel to remain calm and let the law take its course. Police Commissioner David Manning, when addressing the media yesterday evening, said investigations are being led by some of the force's most capable officers. He gave his assurance that swift justice will be brought upon those involved in the death of Senior Constable Kalimda. Commissioner Manning has issued a clear warning to those involved in the death of the late constable not to resist arrest when approached by police. He further added that police will not hesitate to use force and all appropriate means to arrest any suspects if they resist. Commissioner Manning has directed investigating officers in Tari to find the offenders and bring them in using every means at their disposal because the weight of the law and the will of the people are on their side. Hela Governor Philip Undialu has supported the search with provincial funds together with community leaders, which has helped the police. Meanwhile, 2 arrests have been made so far, with 4 other persons of interest who are the subject of an ongoing investigation. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
NCD Governor Powers Pakop has responded recently to the long-awaited appeal for assistance from government and other agencies by the affected residents of Morata 1 community in the nation's capital.
Families have been displaced since the eviction exercise took place on the 12th of October. The eviction has left many homeless with no proper access to water, electricity and shelter. They have been living outside with makeshift homes. They labeled this eviction activity as man-made disaster and called for assistance from the government and other agencies. EMTV, in an interview with the NCD Governor Powers Pakop, asked him on his stand with this eviction exercise. This was his response.
Yeah, we are in the process of considering that, and we are just still doing the data as to where they are now. Some are still there. They've been communicating with me, and some have, left to go and bunk up with their relatives. So we are looking at, compiling the data so we understand where people are and what sort of support we can give them.
The governor also highlighted that he will look for ways to assist affected students, especially those who have sat for their exams.
We are making representation to the Department of Education to consider the situation affecting the students who reside in that area, so they can perhaps give them another exam or delay their exam. These are options that we are looking at, but we have not come up with a final approach yet or decision yet because we still haven't got the data of how many students reside there and those who are eligible for grade 10 and grade 12 exams.
Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. A team from Vanuatu is here in Papua New Guinea to visit the Public Service Commission and Pacific Institute of Administration and Governance. They have arrived in the country over the weekend. The official ceremony took place this morning at Pilag. The Secretary for the Department of Personnel Management, Taya Sansan, Secretary to the Department of Higher Education, Dr. Francis Hualupmomi, and the Chief Executive Officer for Pilag, Robert Barobe, together with the trainers and team from Pilag, were there to officiate the ceremony.
The team comprises of high-level government officials from the Republic of Vanuatu, and they will visit PNG Public Service Commission, Department of Personnel Management, and the Pacific Institute of Leadership and Government and other selected government departments and agencies in the country during their one-week stay in Port Moresby. The Chief Executive Officer for Pilag welcomed the team to the country and explains what they have been doing in terms of educating the public servants.
Divisions in its structure that consists of workforce training, development services, that is 5 program managers with 12 competent and qualified trainers with 10 to 15 years of public sector training experience, with all with a master's level of qualifications. We also engage former public servants, such as department heads, people who have got a content knowledge in the public service who are retiring. We like re-engage them as a consultant so that they will deliver what they have learned to the young public servants that are coming up.
Secretary for Personnel Management, Tai Sansan, also shared the same sentiments and says this is an important collaboration, especially to the Pacific Island countries like Vanuatu and Solomon Island.
That all the questions and doubts will be cleared, and you will sign off on a quality training product that will add significant value to public sector capacity building in Vanuatu, the MSG, and ultimately the Pacific region. Finally, I would like to commend VIPAM and the Vanuatu delegation for taking the bold step to come to PNG to observe, discuss, and learn firsthand what is happening in PNG with a view of replicating the experience and learnings in Vanuatu.
The Public Service Secretary for Vanuatu, James Meltere, thanked Pilag for the opportunity and as a way of appreciation presented few gifts to the CEO for Pilag and Secretary for Department of Personnel Management.
Coming over to meet all of Pilag team with your acting chair lady since we worked each other during the virtual e-signing of the MOU in February 2021. Vanuatu as a young nation and small brother to PNG, we have a long way to improve our public servants' performance to deliver effective and efficient services as deserved by the population of Vanuatu through this mutual collaboration. In the spirit, Melanesia has a lot to continue to assist, mentor and provide technical aid to small island countries like Vanuatu.
The Vanuatu government officials are from the different government departments, agencies and local authorities of the Republic of Vanuatu. These include the Vanuatu Public Service Commission, Vanuatu Institute of Public Administration and Management, Department of Local Authority, Vanuatu Ministry of Health and Vanuatu Ministry of Education and Tertiary. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
The Waigani Committal Court gave its ruling that both defendants Lohia Boy Samuel and Fabian Hera are committed to stand trial in the National Court for the offence of murder. This decision was made after the submission of the Section 96 statements of the District Court Act. The ruling was made this morning at the Waigani Committal Court in Port Moresby.
Following the recent Committal Court's decision that was made last week Tuesday, the 25th of October, for both the defendants, member for Moresby Northwest Lawyer Boy Samuel and Fabian Hera, who were charged of murder under Section 300 of the Criminal Code Act. Committal Court Magistrate Paul Purini extended bail for both the defendants to today, the 31st of October, for their submission of Section 96 statements as per the District Court Act. At about 10 a.m. today, both defendants were asked to give their Section 96 statements under the District Court Act. Defendant Fabian Hera, in his first statement of submission, stated that he was never asked to retrieve the firearm from Lawyer Boy Samuel's vehicle. As for defendant Lawyer Boy Samuel, he decided not to make his statement as part of his Section 96 statement. After this, the court ruled that both defendants are now committed to stand trial in the National Court for the offense of murder. The matter was adjourned to next week Monday, the 7th of November 2022, for listings in the National Court for both defendants to face trial. Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
Oil and gas contractor PNG Industry Manpower Solutions that recently showcased their products and services at the Mining and Industrial Expo in Port Moresby says despite COVID-19, the company is still doing well. People and Safety Manager Mark Randall says the welfare of their staff was very important.
Company that provides local employment in the mining sector works with large oil and gas companies such as ExxonMobil, Santos and Total as a service provider that drills holes as part of its core business. Mark Randall, PNG and Safety Manager PNG Industry Manpower Solutions Limited, says despite the COVID-19, the company still maintained its position and welfare of its staff.
We've been in PNG now for a long time. 2007 we started working in PNG as a oil and gas contractor, a drilling contractor. So yeah, we're very experienced.
Randall says the company moving forward has big plans to not only provide other services, but also plans to upskill its workforce and citizens in the country through their programs.
PIMS, PNG Industry Manpower Solutions, is going to be a labour hire company as well as a training capability company to further the desires of the Prime Ministers, the previous Prime Ministers, Samari and Marape, the current the government's vision, the 2050 plan, and the 7 key elements of that. It's all in support of that, about developing PNG citizens.
Randall says he is looking forward to working with more companies in the country.
Students attending the Kiunga Secondary School in North Fly, Western Province, need proper learning facilities. With limited teaching and learning facilities, the school has been struggling to ensure students are educated.
For over a decade to date, the Kiunga Secondary School is still lacking with learning facilities. This facility includes a science laboratory and equipment to cater for students taking science subjects in upper secondary school. Since the burning down of the biology and physics labs in 2012, there has never been any new science laboratory built in the school vicinity to date for students to use. Not having a laboratory has affected the students with practical lessons, especially with biology, physics and chemistry subjects. As it stands, the teaching staff members have been doing their best to use limited learning materials to ensure students are taught well. According to the school administration, they cannot do much to address this issue due to financial constraints and have been doing their best to educate the students. Both the Fly River Provincial Government and Western Provincial Education Division are aware of this problem, but no attention were given to KSS. Students expressed that their concern is to see new science labs be built and have called on their leaders and development partners to work together to address this issue. Jim John, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund Market Report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2840 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2765 US, $0.4234 Australian dollars, $0.2672 euro, 40.10 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading higher, coffee, cocoa, copra and palm oil trading lower, crude oil is trading higher and copper is trading lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed The ASX 200 and the All Ordinaries all closed higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. We continue with more local stories. A single mother, Sarah Koyem, today attended her son's graduation ceremony at Zion Zil with his uncles. Sarah says today was one of her proudest moments for her and her family, having witnessed her son's graduation. The shy but proud graduate, Kombuk Simon, said he was excited to see his family attend his graduation, especially his mum.
Redcliffe Simon Kombuk. My name is Redcliffe Simon Kombuk. I'm from grade 8. Indeed, I thank my mom and dad for supporting me through the 8 years that now I'm in Zion Zil. So thank you.
I'm parent to Redcliffe Simon Kombuk, and I'm happy that this is his 8th year graduating from Zion Zil School. And he started there, so he finished, and I'm very happy. And thank you everyone who imparted everything into his life. And the most important thing that Zion Zil introduced is God and Bible. So when we raise a child, and in God's way, everything is okay. Nowadays, there's a lot of influence outside, and I'm a single parent. I'm raising, but I have families around, and they are here, so I'm very happy. So, thanks to the good Lord to give me the supportive friends and families. Next, if God's willing, next year my son is moving out to another school, so I'm very thankful.
Zion Zil Primary and Secondary School today held its graduation for the 2022 academic year. Today's graduation witnessed the school's grade 12, 10 and 8 graduation ceremony. The event saw families, parents and families of the graduates.
Today, more than 40 students graduated from Zion Zil. The graduation witnessed grade 12, 10 and 8 students that were awarded certificates. Several items were presented by the students during the ceremony. To witness the graduation ceremony were parents and families of the graduates.
Second batch of grade 12s graduating, and last year we had our first batch, pioneer grade 12s. We had 15 students. This year we had 14 students graduating.
He said for students to make it to higher education institutions, it's tough, but there are also other pathways.
We are, like what I said, the school itself has a vision to take the students after grade 12. That is what our next plan is.
He added that the school will surely collaborate with other institutions as it expands.
We'd like to tap into trying to send our students into universities and colleges, but the competition is very tough. The spaces are limited. That is the thing that is like the filtering system in the country is quite challenging. That is why most of the able students cannot be taken in. That is why we are looking at institutions like ITI, FOD, and Open Campus to come in so that we can send our students there if they cannot make it into universities and colleges.
A new aid post was built at Lufugu in Lufa district of Eastern Highlands province last weekend. This facility will serve the patients seeking medical assistance there.
Over 13 rural communities in Lufugu village, Yagaria local level government will now have access to new aid posts built right in the village, including a new water supply. This semi-permanent aid post, costing more than 30,000 kina, is the vision of local mission team I Will Go Empower a Community for Jesus. In demonstrating this theme, the Adventist Church members in Lufa district contributed from their own pockets and free will offerings towards this facility after attending a week-long district camp meeting. During this event, a water supply was also staged in the village, making it easy for locals there to use. President of the Eastern Highlands Simbu Adventist Mission, Pastor Johannes Fezamo, encouraged the churchgoers to continue to be involved in community service activities. He said the vision of the local mission is empowering a community for Christ, and church members are urged to be agents of change in the community.
Hausik bilim 1+ school na bilim wanem church. Bianim des Platintin now Lufa district now you action him des Pla big Pla Tok where become law head office Pla you mean.
Men, women, children and church leaders attended this event, and 13 people accepted Christ and were baptized at the campsite last Saturday. Jim John, National EMTV News.
Papua New Guinean artist Anslom is breaking barriers and promoting Papua New Guinea through his music. Anslom has been recognized by the Department of Tourism, Government of Kerala, India in partnership with Lazi India magazine.
The Department of Tourism of the Government of Kerala in India has invited Anslom Nakikus to perform at the International Independent Music Festival from November 9th to the 13th. The 5 days of Music Fete brings together the best of the global music community from countries across the world. Anslom said it is a first time for a Papua New Guinean musical artist to be invited to such a prestigious event, and he is honored for the invitation to represent Papua New Guinea in the music space at this event. He said the event is more than a music festival. While the platform provides a global prospective marketing platform and networking opportunities for artists, it also promotes music, culture and tourism, a prospect that Papua New Guinea should also embark on. Anslom will share the stage with 18 musical artists from 7 countries including the USA, United Kingdom, India, Singapore, Malaysia and Italy, cutting across genres like reggae, rock, fusion, Indian rock, hard rock, heavy metal and hip-hop. Anslom will travel to India with producer, musical director and keyboardist Emmanuel Muganawa. Anslom Nakikus started his musical career singing with the Barricade Band in Rabaul, East New Britain Province since 1993. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
Livestock Development Corporation under Marape government is looking at working together with local communities to revive the Baya cattle ranch in Western Highlands Province. Managing Director of LDC, Terry Coim, made this known at a press conference in Mount Hagen.
Coim said LDC, under instructions from the government, is embarking on reviving old projects and reclaiming state land which were under the then Primary Industry Department. He clarified that impacted communities will participate with the government and they will have a company to work with the state agency. He urged local leaders to consider long-term benefits the project would bring to the people. Coim also called on those with buildings and properties at portion 157 to consider vacating that state land soon. He added that the government aims to see the country self-sufficient in meat production so that imports would be the thing of the past. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Managing Director for Oceania Fight Promotions, Marian Milley, says while planning to host their first ever event of the year, they aim to promote stop violence against women in the country. She says while many times females across the country fall victim to domestic violence, she says the event planned for this month is to promote stop violence against women and girls.
As women around the country continue to fall victims to domestic violence, Managing Director and Promoter of Oceania Fight Promotions, Marian Milley, says one of the aim of hosting an all-female bout is to help promote stop violence against women and girls in the country.
And I would like to call on all the women out there, if you are one of the victims that was affected in some years back and in the future, I would like to challenge you to come over and watch this event because it is going to be a very challenging one. Why Mantasol? Now Mary can stand up now fight. So this is why we are having that support for the women. And our motto for this year is building champions and beating the violence. So missing out Lolgata Mary, Mama, you are joining boxing, you come now, you miss up one time, now walk about one time because I believe that women can do it.
Two professional fighters competing in this inaugural event, Joycelyn Rami and Christine Ikupu, also took time not only to encourage women and girls, but also to speak individually how they have been part of domestic violence in one way or another. They say the only way forward for them to help promote stop violence against women and girls is by taking part in the event.
And another thing, me like encouraging all mothers in PNG now violence against women go west in Papua New Guinea. So me decide to training me as a professional, and if any other ladies or mama or susa, if all stand nothing, they can join. We can work as a team.
Young girls now, some mama will stop outlaw. Street or one of my will stop. This time also one play challenge. Lol mama na young lol girls. All can come na joining me plan. Lo side lo self defense one time. Nowadays plenty violence will go.
All women and girls in Port Moresby are encouraged to come along and support their women folk that will participate in the inaugural female bout to be hosted by the Oceania Fight Promotions. The event took place at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Stadium today.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. A first of its kind fight night was hosted last night by Oceania Fights Promotions under the sponsorship of the National Gaming Control Board. This tournament is a one-night boxing occasion and draws respect to PNG's boxing legends, late Martin Benny and Ben Micah. The event was witnessed by supporters, Oceania Fights Promotions Committee, National Gaming Control Board members, along with supporters and spectators from the nation's capital. 7 matches were witnessed last night, where in the 6th bout, 2 female boxers broke the record of the country and the Pacific boxing for the first time.
The Oceania Fights Promotion held a first of its kind fight night tournament last night at the Sir John Guy Stadium Indoor Complex, of which the National Gaming Control Board is the major sponsor. Events manager and Oceania Fights Promotion marketing rep Noel Saray spoke on the significance of this event.
This is a professional game. It's a professional industry. Boxers, they sign contracts with us. It's not like amateur where it's, you can't pay. It's like professional boxing. It's like, that's the career. You need to pay them. That's the expertise.
7 matches were competed, which in the 6th bout, setting a new benchmark for the Pacific region and Papua New Guinea, Christine Ikupu and Joycelyn Rami took to the ring 6 rounds of supersonic feminine combat.
Joycelyn Rami, who hails from Kagwa Erave district of Southern Highlands province, dominated the bout as round 1 commenced through to the 6th round. She won the match with half the credit to crowd support, which was eminent when the judges' decisions were finalized and aired. Rami is an amateur in the boxing arena. Upon claiming the win, she told EMTV that she is optimistic and looks forward to box in upcoming national boxing tournaments.
Will fight more, international match
Rami's opponent, Christine Ikupu, says this is her first appearance in such an occasion and she is more than privileged to have taken part in it.
If I'm knocking me out, I'm knocking out in me, but me doubt lo this la. But me completely wrong lo me na. Me feel mosem, but me come back na written mess.
She is self-taught and looks forward to improving her skills moving forward. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report for the next 24 hours is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby, Daru, Alatau, Popondetta, mostly fine. Kerema, partly cloudy with brief showers and possible thunderstorm. In the Mumase region, Medang, Wewak, Vanimo, partly cloudy with brief showers. Lay, fine. In the New Guinea Islands region, Loringau, mostly fine. KV and Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with brief showers. Kimbe and Buka, few showers with possible thunderstorm. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Mandi and Wabe, cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorm. Goroka and Kundiawa, partly cloudy with few showers.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 31st of October 2022. Before we go, PNG Kumuls will play its round 3 match against Wales tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Also, the Australia's largest horse race that stops the nation, Melbourne Cup, will run tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. and will be telecast live on your number 1 to watch, EMTV. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.